Alright, welcome back to the mYi versus yoeFW Clan Wars Showdown. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, we have the yoeFW player, the red Protoss San. With his opponent spawning to the north on Deadwing, we have the Korean barcode. It's a very tiny barcode. His size doesn't really matter. It's actually Blysk. Joined mYi none too long ago, but Blysk is an interesting character to me, because here's the thing. Blysk is one of the C region players. I think he's, oh god, he's gonna get so mad if I say this wrong. I think he's from Singapore. But my point for him is, he's always been an interesting character because he's been very intelligent. There were times back when Grubby was still going ham with StarCraft 2, Blysk was actually a bit of a okay, I was almost going to say something that sounded more like a whore, but he was an ear to talk to, a mouth to give advice from, and a friend to suggest how to play the game better. And it took a while for him to really show the skills himself, but I will stress that he's now a GM on Korea with his barcode. That's not an easy task to pull off. So big props to Blysk, seeing him step it up just bare minimum through his account ranking. We'll see if he can go as far as to take on San, though, because in a PvP, San is, I guess, it really depends on your definition. Aggressive or cheesy, depending on your point of view. I think one of my favorite PvPs I actually got to see within the last half a year would probably be San versus Seed in the Alima League. San, of course, every time we have seen him crop up, he's been one big proprietor of the 3 gates with stalkers. And if he goes for a little bit more, well, we'll see. But Deadwing is an interesting way this gets picked out. For those who don't know, the way they select the players for this is they don't see, oh, you pick San, let me pick a direct counter. Basically, they just both assign players to a map, then they reveal all the assigned players on said maps to each other at the same time. And that's how you kind of get set up with what you have. So I'm not sure if this was one of the situations, because I know from mYi there was some very specific picks for maps, like, oh, I really want to play, you know, X versus Y. I don't know if this is the case for this one. San may well just say, you know, put me anywhere, because I really feel like San's strategies, they work anywhere, especially if he was going to fight one of the Zerg players. Keep in mind, mYi really only has one Terran that could have been the hiccup in the road for if San had to play against one, but even then, his PvT is not too bad either. Now, this is an interesting choice to see the Sentry come out this early. In fact, this is a pretty big thing for Blysk to scout, I'd say. This is a huge gas investment early on, and the biggest thing he's going to ask immediately is like, why? Why are you going for a Sentry? What could you possibly want with this? And of course, to deny information as a Twilight Council and a Dark Shrine, mayhaps be? I don't know, it's a big gas dedication, so it really throws off the timing of those if that's the case. Either way, maybe it's just to hope that his opponent's not going to cheese him. I don't know, a Sentry this early is just weird to see, but it is going to be a Twilight Council out of Blysk, actually, and a Stargate. So before Ian, or not Ian, got the yoeFW players all over the place. Before San has actually picked his tech path. Oh, interesting. Goes for the Nexus earlier. This is risky. This is really risky. In a PvP, if this gets scouted, there's really two options. One is, and the more classic one, come across the map and win. The alternative is take your own Nexus back at home, which I will admit is becoming more common. We see greed being met with greed more often than not. But with the fact that Blysk has opened with a Stargate into a 3-gate follow-up, Warp Tech not exactly being chronoed out here. But regardless, I think he's pretty well set up to deal with whatever San's going to go with. And San really just doesn't have anything to defend this Nexus. I guess there'll be a Photon Overcharge, perhaps, but a Stargate of his own is finishing up soon, and we'll see if he opens blindly with a Phoenix or if he goes for his own Oracle. Either way, coming across the map, he's going to probably not have anything out in time to deal with this. That first Overcharge is going to have to go off on the Nexus in the main, which leaves this one in the natural very vulnerable. San will scout the pylon. Not sure if he's really worried about this just yet or not. Warp Tech's still not finished, but neither is Blink. A couple of probes going to go down. Not losing too much for this. Stalker nicely positioned. Ooh, props to that. Fake Oracle on the other side of the map, but Blysk not reacting at all. There's a real Oracle soon to follow it up, so the double bluff mind games. I really want to see how he plans to use abuse this natural, though. It's really interesting to see him still going with this. I really expect him to chrono out the tech, but trying to get that Phoenix out because he needs to intercept the Oracle. This is a really smart choice. He does not have a mothership core at home. He's got no way to really deal with this outside of it. Across the map, these Stalkers have begun their assault on the natural. Meanwhile, this Oracle should be able to get about 4 or 5 kills, I'd imagine, at least. Here comes that Phoenix. But both of these are glass cannons, no matter how you look at it. And oh my god, he loses so many workers for this. This could really take away from his ability to warp in. Is 11 workers worth the cost of this Nexus? Is this opening going to win him this game versus not? Phoenix not really doing anything with staying at home, and that's okay because he's really scared of a second Oracle. But Blink, not quite done. But the amount of Stalkers he has actually isn't that great. And what's really scary about this is the Phoenix can crowd control 2 of them at a time. They're probably not going to be used for damage too much, but the more Phoenix that San has, the more that he can actually just simply remove units from his opponent's play. But no high ground vision easily attained. Blink does, yeah, finish. So not going to take a big engagement too dedicated just yet. However, 3 Phoenix can be across the map, and I don't think Blysk can hold this. When the Phoenix dies, his own that is, he's actually going to lose all of the probes as the follow-up. Well, not all, but limited by energy, so about 6 or 7 more will die. He's got to push with these Stalkers, and he's got to do it now. There's a Void Ray on the way. The Photon Overcharge is ready to go once again. I'm not sure if Blink will be able to carry him here, but this is going to be a rough fight no matter how you look at it. The Phoenix being over here is actually going to be a lot better than perhaps intended, again with the Void Ray soon to come out, but not getting the damage done on the Stalkers and just taking perhaps a little too much. Trying to focus down Zealots is never going to go the way you want it to. Phoenixes did turn around to come back across the map, realizing, hey, I don't really have that much energy, but it's really just going to keep picking away the probes here. No probe production at all out of Blysk right now, just purely and entirely dumping it into this attack. And, well, there's... The Void Ray still rallied. There's one with the army. This is kind of cool. I love this hallucination move out of San. Oh, it's such a small detail, but it's such a cool one. However, despite however he plans to use the Void Ray, that's prismatic alignment is being used on the Phoenix. A light unit takes no bonus damage from it whatsoever, so the Stalkers go somewhat unscathed. Second Void Ray gets focused down pretty quickly. He's got to dodge past these Zealots, though, losing a lot of hits here because he already has Blink on cooldown. Just comes off, escapes out of the base, but I think San is held pretty damn well while this goes on. Other side of the map, those probes are slowly getting picked away as the Phoenix get energy for them, but this Void Ray is going to be a little too much damage to deal with. I think the Zealots are buffering quite well for this. The damage they can deal is nice as well, and San just has too many Stalkers at this point. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have Blink, because Blysk is the one who has to push up this ramp. San doesn't have to go anywhere. San can just sit here and hold this ramp all day. Prismatic alignment is off of cooldown. He'll pop that again, and the damage it deals is so ridiculous versus armored units. Those Stalkers are simply going to melt. San also has a bit of money to work with right now. This is actually pretty nice for him, but Blysk, again, every about 30 seconds or so, is going to lose another probe due to these Phoenix. And San's not been lazy about this either. Keep an eye on that energy. He's been using it as it comes. As the probes start dying, the reinforcements will dwindle as well, and I think San is definitely going to take this game. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 3 will go to yoeFW Wolves. Now, someone did come into the broadcast.